Okay, at this point, JayZ and Tony Buzbee are having the who has the biggest stick fest right now. They are both throwing blows at each other on social media as well as in the court documents, and this is going to be one for the ages. And if you are interested in the Diddy case, make sure you are following me. I'm covering the whole thing on my channel. Now, back to JayZ and Tony Buzbee. This is going to be a Goliath versus Goliath match. But honestly, I don't think Tony Buzbee is going to win this one. So I want to preface this with Tony Buzbee, the lawyer who's representing the accuser against JayZ and Diddy, is no pushover now. He is considered one of the most successful trial lawyers in the nation, and JayZ, on the other hand, is the Teflon Don in the courtroom. Roc Nation be winning them cases. Now, Mr. Buzbee, let me tell y'all a little bit about him. He has won billions, with a B, billions of dollars in settlements for his clients in the past. He won $100 million for 10 people who got sick by chemical releases. He worked on the Astroworld case and sued them for $750 million. He settled cases against Deshaun Watson, who was accused of being inappropriate with over 25 women. He settled lawsuits with 10 teenagers who accused Stanley March of being inappropriate with them. He also sued BP for oil spills and won billion for his clients. So he ain't no scrub lawyer. I ain't saying he's the most upstanding citizen in the world, but he ain't no rookie either. Now on JayZ's side, Roc Nation, Hove, that man said he's beat all the alphabet boys, DEA, CIA, FBI. He's won suits against the cologne company who he was in business with. And his lawyer who's leading up this case, Alex Spiro, he's a winner too. He represented Alec Baldwin in that Rust case. He helped get 21 Savage out of jail when he was in his little immigration situation. He's currently representing Meg Thee Stallion in her case against Milagro Grams. And not to mention Elon Musk and Mr. Beast are his clients as well. So, that's why I said this is about to be Goliath versus Goliath. This ain't David and Goliath, where one is the little guy going against the big guy. This is two powerhouses about to duke it out. Power for power. Now, I do think Tony Buzbee has overplayed his hand on this one. And the reason being is when you're dealing with minors, it's so tough. I honestly think he thought JayZ would fold because he assumed JayZ would probably not want to deal with the PR disaster dealing with a public lawsuit. So he assumed JayZ would settle and want to work this out in private, but sounds like Hove is standing on 10 and fighting back. The issues when you're dealing with minors is you got to make sure you got a police report, doctor's records, or therapy records, witnesses, or something. If Tony Buzbee does not have this information, and it's this person's word versus JayZ, I mean, man, oh man, it's an uphill battle. Cases like this may take years to solve, so it's a hot topic right now, but it'll eventually die down. But let me give you some updates on the case. Right now, Tony Buzbee is representing a Jane Doe who accused Diddy and Hove of harming her when she was 13 years old. She now lives in Alabama. Jay's lawyer wants to know her name. So for months, she's been able to stay private. But since Tony Buzbee has exposed JayZ's name, Jay said, well, the public deserves to know her name. Tony Buzbee says he doesn't want to release her name at the moment. And the reason this section may be an uphill battle slightly for Alex Spiro and JayZ is because JayZ is linked in this case with Diddy. There are a lot of Jane Does in Diddy's lawsuits because a lot of them fear they will be harmed by Diddy, stalked, threatened, harassed, so they don't want their name in the public for fear. JayZ is going to say everybody needs to know who you are. His point of view is you're throwing these accusations on me and I don't even know who you are. You're trying to ruin my life. I'm a public figure. I haven't threatened you. So either you expose your name or judge, just get me out of this case. Get me dismissed. So that's one battle Tony and JayZ's attorney Alex Spiro are battling out. All right. Another fight that's in store. JayZ is suing Tony Buzbee for extortion. Alex Spiro, who's JayZ's lawyer, says Tony reached out to them and said, hey, if you don't work with us, we're going to expose you. We're going to tell everybody that you harmed a boy and a girl. Alex said this is a lie and a tactic to try and force celebrities to pay out to avoid public embarrassment. Tony said, hey, this ain't no tactic. This is what civil lawyers do. We reach out and say, hey, somebody said you harmed them. Can we meet and talk about this in private? So that's battle number 2, the extortion argument. Now, in the midst of all this, the third fight that these two are tussling with is Tony Buzbee said that JayZ's associates, private investigators, lawyers, people in JayZ's circle has been stalking and harassing him and his family former clients, existing clients, former employees, anybody who would give them dirt on Tony Buzbee. All right, so this is what Tony Buzbee posted. He said, investigators from New York have contacted many of our law firm's current and former clients. These investigators aren't very smart. What they didn't anticipate was one of the clients decided to record the conversation. It's shocking and illegal. Here's a portion taken directly from the transcript of the contact. Investigator. In a couple of days, or maybe by next week, anyone Googling Buzbee and his company, his practice, are going into litigation, okay? What we're trying to do, we're trying to put this thing together for the company that we're working for. We could get you paid. You could get money right soon, you know? We gave this kid $1,000 to start yesterday just to get him on the right path. At the end of the day, this is going to go through the courts. Buzbee is getting sued. Tony says, these guys are on tape offering to pay my firm's clients to sue our law firm. That's a crime. Now, I don't know if these people are connected to JayZ or Diddy. I do know a few weeks ago, YouTubers, content creators have stated that private investigators were calling them, showing up at their homes, offering money. So we don't know if these people are on Diddy's side or Jay's side, but Tony seems to think as soon as I sent a mediation letter to JayZ, that's when all these weird things started to happen. Diddy or JayZ's people have not responded to these allegations, but we're going to follow this case and see how it unfolds. In other Diddy news, CNN just released a clip of one of the John Does who's also represented by Tony Buzbee, and he accused Diddy of harming him as well. Let's take a look at that clip.
Your lawsuit says plaintiff was held down by Combs, who overpowered him while he struggled to escape due to the effects of the drugs in his system. And it goes on to say that he you.
I was screaming. I was telling him to stop. It was incredibly painful.
Dang. So I'm actually recording this at night, so the full story will probably be out later on in the day by the time I post this video. Hey, Diddy boy, when it rains, it pours. They are on your head, buddy. But I'm going to link that video after this video because I did cover that case in detail. But thanks for hanging out with me. How do y'all think this JayZ versus Tony Buzbee case is going to pan out? Leave your comments below. Peace.